I want to tell you, I actually did a slideshow presentation. And, but I'm thinking about how I'm going to do it, and I told you last week that I've never seen a horror movie. I have no plans on ever seeing one. And I thought, well, what am I going to illustrate this with? And guess what? Nothing. So I decided to use my graphic arts skills and just use letters and colors. So I just couldn't bear the idea of putting ancient, modern, or otherwise pictures of demons, artistic depictions of demons on any of the slides. And the more I read about the theology of demons, the more, I thought it would be kind of upsetting, maybe like I had nightmares or something, even though I don't seem to ever remember my dreams. But actually, it really brought such an overwhelming sense of peace about who we are in Christ. And so I hope that you come away from this today with that same kind of feeling. The whole study of angels is so fascinating to me, not necessarily because it's celestial and ooh, like that, but more because it's a part we don't really talk about, and it's obviously very important in Scripture. The angels play a key role in God's providence, how He intervenes in the affairs of men, all kinds of things. And so we really should probably understand it better, if for no other reason than to see just how big our God is. I was listening to an interview with Salman Rushdie. Can you not? I always tell my students, nod or shake, because they're not going to talk to me. Heavens no. You remember who Salman Rushdie is, right? Okay, he's a writer from Iran originally, and he wrote a book called The Satanic Verses, a long time ago, probably 40 years ago now. And an assassination order was communicated by the Ayatollah of Iran to kill him. And so for a long time he went into hiding, and then around the turn of the century he started to put his toe in the proverbial water and come out a little bit, and he's been for years going to lots of conferences, giving lectures, and going out in public all the time, and he thought it was over. And in fact, the current Ayatollah had even said, we're not behind that anymore, just let it go. Until today, 1 year ago today, he was attacked on stage at a lecture he was going to give in upstate New York. And a 15-year-old Muslim boy ran out of the audience and went on stage and stabbed him between 12 and 14 times. Amazingly, and this is the kicker part of that. There's a reason I'm telling you this story. So he almost died. He was stabbed so many times. One of the stabbings was into his right eye and actually damaged the optic nerve, so he'll never get vision back in that eye. But he was stabbed all over the place. And the interviewer asked him, so has your attitude about God or protection, or heavenly protection, or has any of that changed? He said, no. And he had just finished saying how there were so many miracles that day. Like it was clear weather, so the helicopter could come pick him up because there was no local hospital that could have treated him, but there was one right across the border in Pennsylvania that was a specialty trauma center. And because of the weather, and because there was a helicopter right there on campus, and because they called the police right away, they called it in right away, he was able to get to the hospital, and they saved his life. He was going to die of blood loss. And now he has almost all of his feeling back in his extremities, his hands, his fingers. He says he'll never get his vision back, but he's really doing really well. He just wrote a book called Knife to commemorate, his experience. And so when she asks him, so has that changed your idea about whether there's a God or not? He said, no. And I thought, poor God. I mean, what does he have to do to get people to understand their situation, who they are, what they are in the universe, that there is a heavenly force that they don't want to believe, call a God, that actually has control of the universe. And it was just so sad to me that after all of that, and I'm thinking, here God probably, here's your chance, buddy. I'm going to save your life. When I know you don't believe in me. The whole reason that the Ayatollah put out a fatwa in his life was because he denied the existence of Allah, right? And so, and even after all of this, and after his life has been spared all these years, he still is just recalcitrant. He will not believe. And rather than looking at it as sad or, oh, what an idiot, or something like that, it's more like, what are you going to say to Jesus when you go to the judgment seat? And he said, we tried multiple times to show you that that we exist, and you just refuse to believe. So you have earned what you've got coming. And it's an interesting concept to me about eternity anyway. The idea of eternity is just so hard to even get your head around. The fact that time is going to end one day, for us on earth, and then maybe we'll just become conscious again, and we'll be in the new heaven. Who knows what's going to happen? And our BSF will tell us. We're doing Revelation next year. So, it says your battery's running low. Should I keep? Is it plugged in?
There's a charging cord right over there.
Okay. You want to stop for just a second?
Sure.